is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The LSU man, Leonard Fournette, born right here in New Orleans. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And when the defense wins and gets up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Brady. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. On the other side of midfield at the 45. A solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Winston. Off to Thomas on the left side. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Well, this looks like the penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Slot man moves right. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Kamara. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. They'll run it with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Saints will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Up the gun, Fournette. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, Fournette. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2. 4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3 and out.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Their own 34-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Saints 7, Buccaneers nothing.
Fournette, a first down carry. He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Brady now to throw. He completes it to Evans. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Brady now on first down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted to football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now on 2nd and 13. Winston. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Good running right there, and this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage with just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop it behind the line. They'll lose lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Brady. Out route, and the ball is caught by Godwin. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you can forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Brady to throw on 3rd and 1. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Ball with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Jake Camarda sent on now to punt this away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. On the return, Hardy. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll give to Kamara running right. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Kamara up the middle. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Again, 2 brings up 3rd and
2. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis, operating good, set, and ready to rock for the third quarter. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the running a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working, but they run it more effectively. They may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Jameis to throw it. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Third down, and they're going to try the jet sweep. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game. And try
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. It's such a costly interception. Nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his second touchdown of the night. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Fournette running out of the gun. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball and put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw here into the hands of Jones. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones, because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
It's the first connection. Ryan to Jones there. Brady looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Evans. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And they get Tristan Wirfs, first-round pick in 2020. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Here's Brady to throw. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of...
And he's got it! Touchdown, Saints! So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far. That's great complementary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game...
Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a 1st down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now Brady. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Brady's throw there complete, and he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. Final minute now of the third quarter. On first down, Brady. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Brady to throw again. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Brady going to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side.
Now Brady got to have this one. And finding the tight end Rudolph. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Fournette will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Fournette again, and he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette taking it in from a yard out. And the Buccaneers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Brady's going to look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this 4th quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. To throw, Winston. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Out route, he finds his man. It's Jones. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Now Brady. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Brady. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
3rd and goal at the 4-yard line. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
This is caught. He's going to be stopped shy of the end zone. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And the Saints able to come up with a goal line stand. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, then you stop that clock. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. of his end zone. Winston. He finds Hardy on the slant. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating defensively. You're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough. Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this will probably get away from them. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Winston. And that is incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Brady now on 1st down. His throw incomplete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Able to find Jones. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now Brady. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case. Down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing on 1st down is Brady. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Marcus Davenport tracks him down away in the backfield for a loss of 16. Brady going to go on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really, you're almost at the point of no options. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, it will make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Brady. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, one win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports.
Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still